So today I want to talk about if you're stumbling on this video today and you've been thinking about starting your fitness journey, starting to go to the gym, but you don't know where to start. There's so much information on the internet, and it can be kind of overwhelming, or you try to get into a routine, but you just can't stick to it. I want to try and help you and try and simplify things today for you. So I'm going to break this into two parts because there really is there's the mental strategies to keep yourself in the game, and then there's the programming. So exactly like what your lifts are, what your workouts are, that both play a huge part into you advancing. So like a little bit on my background, I was always a very skinny kid. I'm very much still to this day an ectomorph. An ectomorph is just somebody who's naturally thin. They don't naturally have a whole bunch of muscle mass. So I just had to work a little harder to get that muscle mass and eat a little more. You'll know if you're an ectomorph if you eat a lot and you still see yourself being skinny. So that's me. And I was also a swimmer. So I wasn't just in the weight room all the time. As a kid, it really took me going to college to start going to the gym once I stopped swimming. So first, starting off with some mental strategies you can kind of look at and implement to keep yourself going, because that's really where it starts. Like, we can talk all day about programming and what lifts to do and the intricacies of form on each lift, but if you're not getting yourself to the gym consistently, you're just not going to see those results. So number one, when you don't want to work out, I feel like, because even I'm in pretty good shape to this day, and I'm pretty consistent about the gym, and I enjoy doing it. But there's certainly days where I don't want to go. I'm tired. I had a long day. But the best way to do it is just to tell yourself that you're just going to go to the gym. Don't convince yourself that you're going to get the hardest workout ever in. Don't start thinking about everything you got to do. Once you're there, just tell yourself you're going to go to the gym. You're just going to step your foot in the door. And a lot of the time, once you get there, you're like, all right, screw it. I'm already here. I might as well get a lift in. And then you get your little warm up in. And then after the warm up, you get your first lift in. Then you start feeling those endorphins. And then you're off to your workout. And then an hour goes by, 45 minutes goes by. And boom, you've got a whole workout in when an hour ago you didn't think you were going to get off the couch. Number two, get in a routine. So find a certain time of day. I'd recommend the morning just because you always know that before your day starts, that's going to be clear. If you just wake up that extra hour earlier and get that in, it's always going to be available. But you do what works best for your schedule. Some people, that's super late at night. Some people, that's at lunch. But just find what block of time every day works best for you, and stick to it. Because what's going to happen over time is your body will begin to look forward to having those endorphins that you get from working out at that certain time of day. You almost crave it, and then you'll start to enjoy it, because every time you work out at that time, you'll get those endorphins. You'll get that feedback from your body that says, yes, this is a great thing that I'm doing. Number three, if you're first starting, I would recommend not looking in the mirror until 2 weeks after you start. And that's 2 weeks of hitting the gym consistently. Because I'm telling you, if you're just starting and you hit the gym for 2 weeks, you're eating right, you're resting, you will see a difference in the mirror. And do it right after you work out, because you have that little bit of pump, and then you'll be like, wow, I've only been doing this 2 weeks and I'm already seeing these gains. I'm looking better. I'm feeling more confident. And then that'll be that reinforcing mechanism that keeps you going back again and again and again. And then you'll look back after 6 months, a year, 2 years, and so on, and you'll just see that progress gain even more and more steam until it's just an integral part of your life that you're always going to the gym. Number four, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. So what do I mean here? So something is always better than nothing, and a bad workout is better than no workout. So if you're going and you already feel tired, maybe you're super sore, but this is one of the days that you go to the gym, and you get to the gym and just nothing's working. You're not able to progress to the weight that you were doing last week, or you don't have the endurance to get through the normal amount of reps that you would at a certain weight. That's fine. It happens to everybody. But that little bit of a workout, or that lesser workout, is better than nothing. and your body's still going to be able to benefit from that work that you put in. And then it's also just going to reinforce you going to the gym every day. So don't let one bad day ruin your whole progression. Number 5, and I kind of touched on this earlier, is just don't get caught up in the details too early, because there's so much information out there on YouTube, on different forums, everywhere, bodybuilding, details on like the certain form you should do on a tricep pull down, or the number of reps that's the most scientifically proven to help you progress. Just find something simple, and I'm going to touch on programming, the basics of some actual lifts and scheduling for your lifts that you can do to progress at the beginning. But for now, just do not let all those little details overwhelm you. Just lift a little bit more every week. Make sure you're resting and make sure you're eating, and you'll definitely see progress over time. And last for these mental strategies is make sure that you're not comparing yourself to others. Celebrate what's an accomplishment for you. So you might go into the gym and you see people bench pressing 225. So they got 2 plates on each side of the barbell. And you can't even get to 100 pounds on your bench press for 5 reps or whatever you're at. Don't let that person's accomplishment affect what's an accomplishment to you. So let's say you've been working for 3 months and you finally got to 135. So that's the barbell and then 1 plate on each side. And then the dude next to you, he's just warming up with 225. Don't let what that guy's doing affect you. You accomplished something. 3 months ago or 6 months ago when you started, you couldn't do that. Be proud of yourself, pat yourself on the back, and know that one day if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to be where he is. So that's all I got for the mental strategies, but I want to move into programming a bit. So programming is just what exactly, once you get to the gym, what are you doing? So the simplest way to start, at least in my opinion, is either a 5x5 or a 3x5 program. What does that mean? So that would be 5 sets of 5 reps. So you do, if we're talking about a bench press, right? You do 5 reps, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then rack the barbell, and then wait a certain period of time, and then you do another 5, and then you repeat that 5 times. Or you could do it, instead of doing that 5 times, you could do it 3 times. And this is for your main compound lift. So the easiest way to organize your workout in general is you start with your biggest lift. This is after your little warm up. You warm up a bit, work up to that weight, do that main lift, and then you move on to accessory lifts. So your compound lifts, that's going to be your bench press, it's going to be your squat, it's going to be your deadlift, even you could throw an overhead press in there. Those are generally things, or there's little variations of those things that you can do, but that's, again, getting into the details. And you can start to, once this becomes a part of your life, that's when you can start stressing about the details. As far as like variations, instead of doing a flat bench, you can do an incline bench press that works a little bit more of the top of your pecs, which will give you a fuller chest. But don't worry about that right now. As far as like day by day, I'd say there's 2 main programs that most people use. They'll either do a push-pull legs, or they'll do a body part split, or commonly known as like a bro split. So a push-pull legs, that's one day you do only pushing movements. So that would be a bench press, that would be an overhead press, things where you're moving weight away from you. Another day would be pull, so that's where you're moving weight towards you. So that would be like a row. That would be a deadlift could be counted in that, or pull-ups, things of that nature. And then legs, well, that's lower body lifts. So your squats, your deadlifts, your lunges, things of that nature. And then on the other hand, you have your bro split, which would be, so day 1, I might be hitting chest, and then I just do chest movements. So I'm doing my bench presses, I'm doing my dumbbell flies, I'm doing dips, things like that. Then maybe day 2, you hit back. So you're doing barbell rows. You're doing lat pull downs, pull ups, low cable rows, things of that nature. Then day 3, you're moving on to shoulders. Shoulders will include things like maybe an overhead press. There's different variations you can do with the dumbbell, hit your shoulders in different ways. You could do shoulder flies or lateral flies, where you're moving the dumbbells to the side of your body, and all these different exercises. If you're curious about it, there's tons of videos on YouTube with regard to what each of these exercises look like. But I'm just trying to give you a general framework for what you can do for these workouts. But with regard to what weights you should use, because you might go into a gym for the first time, you see dumbbells there, you see barbells, you see all sorts of machines, and it can be a little overwhelming just having this many pieces of equipment in a gym. You don't know what to go to first. So briefly, I want to touch on, for those compound lifts, I'm a big proponent, especially for upper body compound lifts. Lower body, a little different. Can't really load enough weight to use dumbbells. But for upper body lifts, so your bench press, your overhead press, things like that, I'm a huge proponent of using dumbbells. Why? Because it's a lot easier to fail with dumbbells than it is to fail with a barbell. So like, let's say you have a bench press, so you're laying flat on a bench. If you can't get that weight up, it can be really embarrassing for a lot of people, really intimidating to just have a dumbbell or a barbell stuck on their body. I remember when I started my fitness journey, I had an experience like that. I was bench pressing, and I was somewhere around 100 pounds. So definitely not the heaviest lift in the gym. Most people can fling that thing above their head, that amount of weight that have been lifting for some years. So I got stuck with 100 pounds on me. And I remember after that happened, like, I didn't go to the gym for 3 weeks, a month, just because I was embarrassed. So versus if you start with dumbbells, it's really easy to increase the weight, because you start on one side of the rack. Like maybe say first day in the gym, you're doing a dumbbell bench press, and you've got 40 pounds in each hand. And then after a few weeks, maybe you got 50, and then you just slide your way down that dumbbell set. And it's a lot less intimidating. Moving on to some of those accessory lifts. So after you do your main lift, you move to some accessory lifts that still target the same body part, but aren't as taxing on everything other than that one body part you're trying to hit. So for example, for chest, that might be a dumbbell fly, where you're laying flat and you move the weight to your side with your arms extended. Or it might be like a tricep pull down on a cable machine that specifically targets your triceps. And for these, I would recommend doing either 3 sets of 10 reps or 5 sets of 10 reps. And you can pick 2 or 3 of these per day to do on top of your compound lift that target that specific muscle group. I also want to touch on calisthenics. Calisthenics can be an awesome thing to add. I like to add them to the end of my workout, but especially starting out, it's also really easy to track your progress, because let's say you start your first week and you can do 15 push-ups, 3 sets of 15 push-ups at the end of your workout. Maybe you take like a minute or two break between each of those sets. And then after a few more weeks, maybe you've been in the gym for a month, you can do 3 sets of 20. And then you can do 3 sets of 25. And then just over time, that number that you can do in a row, and then maybe you get to so many that you start having to add weight to the movement. So good calisthenics that I like to add. So you can do on like a chest day, or even like a day where you're hitting your shoulders. You can do push-ups for chest. Another great one is dips. For back, pull-ups. And for legs, you can add either squats, air squats, or lunges, or over time you can add some weight to those just to add a little bit more to the end of your workout. Another thing I want to touch on is abs. So a lot of people stress out over these giant adding 15, 20 minutes of ab workouts at the end of their workout. They've already been in the gym for an hour, and then they just hit abs for like 20 minutes. In my experience, there's 2 things that are going to make your abs show. Number one is just having a good diet, which I'm going to touch on in another video. And then the other thing is just your compound lifts. So as long as you're, especially lower body compound lifts, so your squats and your deadlifts, as long as you're going heavy, and whenever you go heavy, in order to do it in a safe way, you have to brace your core. And when you brace your core, it's going to build your ab strength over time. Your ab strength is almost going to be a limiting factor to how much you can lift safely on those compound lifts. So as your lower body strength increases, so is your abdominal and core strength. And as far as just progressing, don't get too crazy with it. As long as you're lifting a little heavier each week, you're gonna see progress over time. And have fun with it. Have a little variation in your workout, so you're not doing the same thing every single workout. And as you get more experience, you'll know how to implement those variations into your workouts. So last thing I want to touch on is just some tips for weight loss. See, this has never really been a problem for me, but the same principles apply to just improving over time. So I want to touch on cardio. So for me, the biggest thing with cardio is to find something that you actually enjoy doing. So if you're like, okay, I need to lose weight, so I need to burn some more calories, so I need to do some cardio, and you start running every day, but you hate running, you're not going to keep doing that over time. So there's all sorts of activities that increase your cardiovascular health that you might enjoy more than just running. So for example, for me, my primary source of cardio is jiu-jitsu. I'll go to jiu-jitsu probably 4 or 5 times a week, and I just get my cardio there when I do my rolls. Rolls are it's jiu-jitsu sparring. But maybe for you like playing sports, you like playing basketball, you like playing soccer, or maybe you like hiking. Find that thing that you like that increases your cardiovascular health, that you'll do because you actually enjoy doing it, not just because you're trying to increase your cardio and burn more calories. And number 2 for guys out there trying to lose weight, just your diet. Just improve, and I'm going to touch on this in another video, but make sure your diet, you have a lot of satiating foods, you're eating whole foods, and you're eating enough protein, because those are the things that are going to satiate you and prevent you from eating those foods that are going to take away from your progress. So guys, I'm just going to end on one thing. So just know what your goals are. For me, that was just increasing my strength and looking good. And I think that's a great place for people trying to start from. Because we all want to be able to move more weight. You see that over time as you're progressing. And everybody wants to look good. So don't overcomplicate things at the beginning. Guys, keep at it. Keep grinding. Progress comes with time. Consistency is the strongest thing that you can introduce to your life when it comes to things like this. So have a good one. Take it easy. Oh, and like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And leave a comment down below. If you're having problems in your fitness journey and you need a little advice on things, I'll let you know.